Hello, hello. How is everyone? Happy Sunday. Happy holiday for those who celebrate. Happy Festivus to the rest of us. I look like this because I had bunny ears and a cottontail last night. So I had already, when the Taurus child requested chocolate, it was already in the works. So I was hopping about stuffing and hiding eggs last night because why not have as much whimsy and magic as you can in life. But I know my community, and also this is Aquarius. So they're not looking to make sure that my hair is perfect or anything. Speaking of which, so we are on Aquarius for April. I have whipped out the good old-fashioned Nike cards for Aquarius. There we go. I'm a little crooked today. Hold on. I have to fix that. It'll make me nuts. Some things are okay. Completely crooked is not. So you'll all be happy to know that Lee got her wish. And she and her brother got to find giant eggs filled with treats that all led to baskets with chocolate bunnies, amongst other things that the Easter Bunny left. The Easter Bunny did come. She looked like she slept with a hanger in her mouth. She was very happy. She's a Gemini rising, so she's the eternal child, like, and a Leo moon. So the whimsy is appreciated. I had to yell at her. She kept trying to hug me, and I was like, go find your eggs. Your brother's gonna get all of them. Okay, so that's enough of that. Aquarius, I hope you are well. This is for Aquarius placements, 11th house placements, which, fun fact, all three of my kids ended up with 11th house sons. So I have 3 humanitarians. I probably would have molded them into humanitarians, but they were naturally born that way. So it wasn't a whole lot of work for me. And I have an Aquarius moon child. I have a very good Aquarius moon friend. And I am just very fond of Aquarius. Even though it's in conjunct Cancer, I am not really... I think Cancer and Aquarius make a really nice balance for each other, actually. And I don't find it... Some of the easiest relationships in my life are with 11th house placements and Aquarius placements. So I don't find it really to be work. We are going to be looking at your energy that you're kind of stepping out of. Whatever, if you're watching this, whatever energy that I like to say dropped you off. So in other words, it could have happened 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 days ago, but it happened before you started watching this reading, and this reading is good whenever you find it. One more shuffle. Okay. It is, you know, time is fluid, and your guides will get you to the messages you're supposed to hear. Don't take anything that makes you feel angsty, anxiety, fear, any of that. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm about. And we're going to be looking at you, and we're going to be looking at other. And other is whatever other energy is most affecting you right now. Oh, let's see if that comes out. Sometimes we'll get a card that'll come out. Oof. Well, I like that. Sometimes we'll get a card that'll flip and flip right back in to the deck. And I always say, like, if it really, really, really wants to come out, it will. And it happens all the time. Sometimes I pick cards back up and put it back in the pack because I'm just like, and it'll pop back out. Like, my guy's yelling at me, like, you don't get to make those decisions. All right. Very interesting. We need two more. We're going to be looking at the energy that dropped you off at this reading. We're going to be looking at the energy currently available to you. Okay, well, I'm not mad at those two. And we're going to be looking at the energy that'll be open to you in the future. It just means anytime in the beginning of May or after that. Sometimes these readings feel like they're meant for longer periods of time. I know that I felt like the Gemini readings are meant for on Friday nights when we're doing Friday nights. Those have felt, I forgot one of my lights on. Those readings feel like they're bigger readings. And I'll usually indicate if I feel like this is happening. I think Cancers, I felt a whole energy shift from now into the fall. Okay, so we have cards on the table. There's also a third. So there's you and there's other. And then in the middle, you know, they say like there's their side and your side. And in the middle, there's truth. In the middle, there's the truth in the energy that bounces back and forth. Because a lot of times people aren't completely transparent for a million reasons. No one has to be nefarious. No one has to be bad. Just sometimes there's either lack of communication, or even when there is communication, not everyone is saying everything. So we bounce off people sometimes energetically, almost more than reacting to what they are saying. Aquarius, you are starting out your reading with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Very interesting. When we get the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it can mean a couple of things. It can mean that somebody brought you a message of, and this is what I'm feeling from it. And I'm just going to allow that to happen today. It feels like somebody brought you because a page is like a messenger, right? Where an ace is an offer from universe, just in case anybody was ever like, what's the difference? Because they both kind of feel like starting energy, right? The ace and the page. But the page is like a messenger. And so when we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and it's this lovely person here with the red kicks, there's a lot of yellow in this card. And in tarot, yellow represents hope, happiness, brighter days. So when we have this in reverse, it's like somebody came to you. We have a backpack here, right? Somebody came to you with an offer. And again, this is the energy that is dropping you off here, and it can be 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, whatever. Feels like somebody brought you false promises. So that message was upside down. It wasn't. And for a lot of you, it feels like that message that they gave you, they really thought they could deliver. But there was more hope in it than, you know, pragmatism. And Aquarius doesn't really mind pragmatism. It is the hopeful, kind humanitarian Aquarius, right? But also let's have a way to get there. Let's have a way to do this. And so it feels like somebody brought you this offer. I know we're saying the yellow background, but I keep hearing the song Blue Skies, nothing but blue skies. But it wasn't. Whether they really thought they could deliver on it, or whether that was just the bait and switch. On their side, we have Five of Wands. It's very interesting, Five of Wands. So this Five of Wands, usually I see Five of Wands as inner chaos, inner conflict. This feels like a bit of both. It was in the upright. It just feels like whatever's going on around this person. So, I mean, this makes perfect sense to me. Somebody came along and promised you stability when they knew that they were really chaos. They promised you hopeful, nothing but blue skies, maybe a little toxic positivity. And maybe they thought you were the other piece that would help them take them out of this. But at the end of the day, that was a false promise, because they are a chaotic, maybe a little dramatic person. And I will say this till I can't speak anymore. I dislike and I disagree when people call Aquarius cold. They aren't. They are just not about the bullshit. They aren't. And they're really not about the drama. So this is someone who came in kind of saying like, oh no, I'm just a really positive person, and I just feel a lot of toxic positivity. Well, this is what has been going on. We're leaving that energy, Aquarius, so thankful for that. And that's probably leaving Saturn bye-bye. Also, don't forget, you know, Aquarius, like, yeah, Pluto's going to be in Aquarius, but like, Pluto is not going to express the way it did in Capricorn. Pluto is still Pluto. Pluto be Plutoing. Like, okay, but Saturn leaving your sign, the nodes in July going to be leaving, the squaring signs, the fixed modalities, and you know, there's only one more eclipse that squares Aquarius, and then it's off of you. So you've had Saturn and you've had the nodal axis. And last year in Aquarius season, I believe we were still dealing with we were still going in shadow of the Venus retrograde in Capricorn. It's just been, you know, wonky. Now, is your Aquarius going to complain? Probably not. not as much as some of the other signs might. Aquarius is going to detach, look at the reason, find a solution, on to the next. Let's figure this out. I got to tell you, I'm using automations. I have gone down the rabbit hole of ChatGPT. I have managed to do SEO on my website. And all I keep saying all the time is like, yay, Aquarius. Yay, Aquarius and Pluto. Like, I love the Aquarius and Pluto. But I have to tell you, things are going to become far more clear for Aquarius. And with all the other squaring energy and stuff that may have felt a little chaotic around you with the nodes, the eclipses, Saturn in your sign, all of that. And yes, you will have Venus retrograde on the other side of your seesaw during the summer, late July into the very, very beginning of September. But I still swear having Saturn and those nodes move out and the eclipses move out is going to feel like a lot of decompression. It's still better. I don't care about Pluto. It's still better. You're not all screwed for the next 20 years, and don't listen to anyone that tells you you are. We're going to see a lot of advances. Power to the people, right? And also that Pluto in Aquarius is bringing transformation to Aquarians' lives. It's still at 0 degrees. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn. And then it won't go permanently until November of 2024. Into Aquarius, where it will stay. But I just want to make sure that my kick-ass, wonderful Aquarians know that they should not be completely in fear mode of Pluto moving into your sign. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright between this Page of Pentacles and that Five of Wands. Again, whenever you find this, this is the energy that is behind you. Things are going to clear up. This doesn't feel like it just happened for 2 days or just 2 weeks ago. It feels like this happened a little bit ago. Promise of blue skies, nothing but blue skies. And what you got was a whirling dervish. Somebody who has inner chaos. And on the surface, like, listen, that could be a lot of different energies. Wheel of Fortune tells us that there's a change. It's a 10. There's a chapter closing. It could be how these energies deal with each other. And it honestly, that chapter closing could be that you have blamed what has felt unstable. And if you're here listening to me, you probably follow astrology to some degree. And you've been thinking, well, this has been happening and this is squaring or this is, and so the chaos around you, you haven't been, because Aquarius isn't really a blaming kind of, that's the other thing that I feel like we don't give enough credit to Aquarius for. An Aquarius is not going to blame you for everything. Like, they take accountability, and they're also like open-minded. They understand the idea of the collective and other energies and other, you know, they're going to look at all the variables and look for a solution instead of focusing on the problem. You know, some people thrive when there's a problem because there's something to talk about. Aquarians don't really want to talk about the problem. They want to talk about the solution. So often, especially when they love somebody, they're going to be looking for other reasons, the other variables. They're not going to be looking to like blame you for their issues. They're just gonna, they're gonna be like, well, you know, this energy is janky or whatever. I think as the energy, thankfully stopped squaring Aquarius so much. The Saturn is gone. I do feel like you're going to be able to see people for the chaos that they are appropriately, accordingly, and not disproportionately. That's what I heard, just like that. And I'm going to say that this reading is going to go into the summer, because what you start to realize now, the wheels turning, because you're going to find solutions one way or another. That's what I'm going to say. Whatever you think you see now will be completely revealed in July and August. Okay. And if not by then beginning of wrong cup. Happens when you don't sleep. You'll figure it out by the beginning of September. And the energy available to you now, rest. Now, I'm not going to reiterate everything I just said about, what planets and squaring and all of that is leaving your sign. But it's time for rest. Take a step back. Here's what I'm going to say also about Aquarians. Okay, cold. Pissed me off. Is that sometimes they're so hell-bent on a solution that they don't take a step back and realize when they're doing somebody else's legwork. Ontology. Trying to provide all the solutions for everyone, because the idea is a better environment for everyone. That's Aquarians are all about that. But sometimes you have to take a rest and realize what problems are, Lee and I will tease often in the house, like, that sounds like a them problem. That sounds like, we tease each other sometimes and say, that sounds like a you problem, right? But lovingly. But also, Aquarians are, if we're saying power to the people, right? In Aquarius, we're making it very clear, the 5th house, Leo, is children. The 11th house, it's sister sign. And the 5th, 11th house access, that's the world's children. That's everyone else's children. That is everyone. The goal is always to make society better. That can mean society on a whole, and that can mean society within their home. But it's your guides are asking you to take a rest right now. So you can really see what is what, and whether you're, without shaming or villainizing whatever this other energy is here for you, Aquarius, their trauma response from a child, if they were ignored, if they were left to their own devices a lot, them having a problem for you to fix can feel like love to them. It feels like drama to you. But if you love somebody, you're in it. You're making the society better, whether that's the society of your home or the society in general. And so Aquarians can often find themselves in relationships with people who find their solution-driven, right? So they might not say, I love you 20 times a day, but they're going to help you with your problems. They're going to be active doing that. And because of that, people who felt maybe ignored as children, abandonment issues, or like didn't feel enough in some places. The attention is attention. The effort. You know, I've said for, gosh, over 2 decades, one of the nicest ways that you can tell somebody and show them that you love them is effort, in whichever way. Me being up in the middle of the night when I'm tired, stuffing eggs and hiding them, I know that that feels like love to my Taurus children. Not because they want me to stay up all night. They don't. But they had joy today, and they knew that somebody put the effort in to make sure that joy was arranged. It's whichever way the people in your family, the people in your life, the people in your relationships feel effort. And for some people, that's going to be a trauma response. So this chaos, right, will absolutely activate the societally solution-run, beautiful humanitarian heart of the Aquarian. And then the conflict person, the chaos person, the Tasmanian devil person, the dramatic person has someone who is always trying to help them solve their problems. It feels like love. It's time for you to rest. This Four of Swords is very, very clear, especially leading off of their conflictual chaos energy. In their energy, we have the Chariot in reverse. I feel like that's tied to that Page of Pentacles in reverse. If they are chaotic and they are stuck, what does that prompt you to do? You know, each placement has their own, like, you know, Aries loves a burning building, loves the dumpster fire, whether that's a person or an actual, you know, they're going to run in and save. Aquarian is going to problem solve. So somebody who's stuck, somebody who constantly has conflict, oh, I wish I could, you know, I would do all that. I would have that success. I would be less chaotic. I would have less problematic people around me if only I didn't have, you know, but I can't help this going on. And it's often something they can help, but the Aquarian can see so clearly how to better themselves, and they are there, helping, loving, supporting, problem solving. The same way that a Virgo feels security in being of service to people in their relationships. And I don't care how healed, how emotionally mature you are, how smart you are, how much you know all this, you could study trauma. I promise you, as somebody with a whole bunch of Virgo, I will have 30 seconds of just absolutely triggered PTSD of, if they don't want my help anymore, maybe it's because they're trying to get rid of me out of their life, because why would somebody keep me around if I'm not useful? Right? And that sounds horrible, and I'm not asking for pity, but I'm saying each zodiac has their version of that. And Aquarians sometimes attract people, they hate drama, but they'll have somebody that has a lot of conflict around them. They can help them so much. It's a mutually beneficial, right, dichotomy, because that Aquarian can supply a lot of solution for somebody who just seems like they need it. And what we want Aquarius to do is rest and understand that they are so valuable and so lovable when they have no solutions. That you don't have to fix shit for that person. And there's still no replacement for you. I hope my Aquarians hear that, and I don't know why, but I'm getting emotional. You don't have to fix shit for anyone. And you are still so valuable. It's not the thing. It's not the insurance policy. They are stuck. They have the tools. They have universe. They have everything, but they're not. In the alchemy of the current energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, I love the Queen of Pentacles. They're a great partner, right? Because no matter what you burn down, they'll build it back up with you. But she is in reverse here. It's funny. She's like a little... It's a very Eastery Queen of Pentacles. It's not making anyone feel anymore like they're speaking each other's language as much. It's not making anyone feel let me put it this way. Somebody could always be going through crisis, right? And then you're there for them and you're finding solutions for them and you're helping them, because why wouldn't you? That's somebody you love and care about, so you're going to help in the best way that you can. In the very beginning, I felt like that reversed Page of Pentacles and that Five of Wands in the upright. I said, I felt like this isn't just for 2 days, or this wasn't just 2 weeks ago. I think this has been an ongoing thing for a long time. What happens is when you keep saying to somebody, we've all had this experience, but I bet you Aquarians feel like they've had it more, but we've all had the experience where, and I lovingly call those people assholes. Like, why are you asking me? Right? And that's never in like, I do it less now, but that's never in practice. That's never in clients. It's never in session. It's never in this space. It's always with a friend or a family member or a relationship where they keep giving you the same problems and telling you why they can't get out of that, why they can't move out of, and you know that they're not going to. After a while, you realize, oh, it's not that they didn't have the solutions. It's that they're just not going to take them. I think that this is where you have arrived, Aquarius. I couldn't help this person build back up if I wanted to, because they don't, I can give them the solution, but they actually have to act on it. Because Aquarius will find you the solution and they'll do a little bit of research for you happily. But Aquarius is also smart enough at some point to realize you cannot do the work for them. I think this person's trauma response feels like you trying so hard to do the work for them and finding the solutions feels like love. I also feel a little bit like they're getting the energy of the jig is up, and I think the shenanigans feel a little bit more prominent right now. Let's look at the energy we're walking into. Your defenses come down. 9 of Wands. Now, you stop defending something you were defending. This reading feels, again, I keep saying this lately, this feels like a personal reading. Because I feel like this situation is not new. We're not just talking about a week or even a month, but everything is kind of coming to a culmination now. I think we're really going to see some huge catalyst moment, a tower moment, or a huge reveal, or a huge you shall not pass boundary during the full moon in Aquarius that I am 99.5% positive will happen during that Venus retrograde in Leo on the other side of your seesaw. I think the thing you're not defending anymore is them. I think me sitting here and saying to you, they're a little chaotic. And in the beginning, it was like, oh my God, they're so great and they're so positive and they bring all this fun and I like fun and, you know, we can find solutions together. There is a chemical in your brain that responds to problem solving. It also helps people, sometimes more than others. It's part of the chemical that is responsible for really bonding, kind of falling in love. So, Aquarians, picking up what I'm putting down. I think people have probably said to you before, you don't like drama. Why are you? Oh, they're not dramatic. You don't understand. This has happened and that's happened. Like, they didn't ask for that. This is just what's going on. And I mean, this poor person just keeps getting hit every 6 ways till next Tuesday. They're not dramatic. I think you've said that. I can almost hear you saying that. Oh, no, that's not how they are. That's just what's going on in their environment and that this is their reaction to it, you see? Open-minded, looking for solutions, wanting to encourage the betterment of all the society, whether that's on a micro or a macro level. In their energy, we have the Queen of Swords. Now, I can only hope that this 9 of Wands is because this person gets truthful with themselves and starts to realize they're monkeys, their circus, not your monkeys, not your circus. This is what we can only hope for. We're going to clarify these 2 cards. I gotta tell you, it's a little hopeful here for some of you. I feel like it's going to go one way for some of you and one way for another. But I feel like these 3 in the future cards, I think we're looking at, I think it's not just May. I think May is going to start the ball rolling on a series of events that we won't see finish up until the beginning of September for you regarding this situation. Let's clarify those last 2 cards. I literally never know where these readings are going to take me, take us. I know I should put the titles like after I do the reading. That's why you'll never see titles on my readings. I should do them afterwards, but we're not mad at that. Because even when I lay the cards down, as what comes in, comes in. Okay. than we needed. We have the Five of Cups, the Four of Cups in reverse, and the Sun on that Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay, let's get the rest of this person's cards because I want to make sure. Because you know me, I will not wrap everything in a neat little bow. I still think it's going to happen over. These are the energetic and astrological opportunities that are available to us from the beginning of May onward. We need 2 more cards. Okay. Listen, if this person gets the ego death that they need, there is hope. What's so beautiful about you fucking Aquarians is what I totally get here is that you will grieve for the person that you understand they are not this that they promised. They are not blue skies, nothing but blue skies. They're a little chaotic. They have some trauma responses. You grieve the person that you understand that they were not. With that, you make peace. You stop looking for the person they promised to be. And now you accept exactly. You meet them where they're at. And then we have the Sun card. Aquarians, I believe in this situation, whether this is family, whether this is work, whether this is a best friend or a spouse or whatever, right? Whoever this is, I believe that you are going to see them for who they are, make peace with that, what that is, not what that was represented as. And then you are going to, I'm hearing back to the drawing board with solutions based on who they actually are. And determination. I do think that there will be almost like a renewal. For some of you, I hate to say this, it's probably just a handful of you. I feel like, again, this is your work. It is your compromises. It is your efforts. It is your evolution. It is your emotional maturity. It is your lack of attachment and judgment and expectations. It will be all of your work that will produce some really nice results. We have the Queen of Swords. We also have the Queen of Hearts. Now, if somebody gets truthful with themselves, I think they're going to try. We have the Seven of Cups, which is kind of like delusion. We have the Empress, which is all 4 queens, kind of, right? But in reverse. So we have 2 queens and the Empress here. And the Empress is in reverse. And then we have the Seven of Swords. I think they're going to start to scratch honesty of who they are. I think it's a little harder for them to accept. I think the ego death is going to, like, I want to say flash mob them. And there's going to be a moment that is going to create the crack in everything. That's going to let the sun in on your side. That's going to back to the drawing board. Let's go. This is who you are. I love the soul. I don't need to love the surface of whatever it was that was presented. You're going through a dark night of the soul. Let's do this together. There's ways, right? There's ways to fix it. I don't love the delusion. Now listen, does that mean that this person will not bump up against some rejection of their ego death? Of course they will. That's human nature. That's, again, we're not villainizing or judging this person. But what I think is that they're going to drop a tiny bit back into their victimization mode, which is often when you find somebody who's chaotic and dramatic and always has something going on, there'll be a modicum of victim mode. Not because they're an a-hole, just because that's a trauma response. That's an environment, you know, cortisol addiction thing for them. I do believe there'll be a break in all this. I believe there'll be a crack in the facade. It will let the sun in for a little bit. I think that it is a cha-cha. I don't think it's as smooth as we would like it to be. I think just like anything, that's an addiction, that's a challenge, that's a journey, that's an evolution. That's a reteaching of ourselves, sometimes reparenting of ourselves. I think we go 3 steps forward and 1 step back, and then 10 steps forward, and then another 10 steps forward, and then maybe 10 steps back, and another 2 steps forward. That is the human condition. I think we're going to see, as we get closer to September, how much of that accountability this person is willing to take. I'm going to pull on Into the Lonely Woods for you lovely Aquarians. You are incredible. Let me just say that. This reading makes me have so much respect for the people who find it, because I know you wouldn't find it unless you were this incredible person that I am seeing here. And again, we're not villainizing the other one, because what's the point in that? We can't say fuck shame for us and then shame other people, right? And shame and judgment are bedfellows. It's why I love Aquarians, because they really don't judge. Oh, I can't read numbers now even. Okay, great. And thank you for all my non-Aquarians that are here in the chat that I know are just being like supportive to the community. I love you all so much. Okay, this is very interesting. 28. When all seems ended. We sculpt our lives until its shape is familiar. We create patterns and stories and rituals around all these shapes, all of which make up the beautiful moments of our days. We have a whole world, and yet sometimes that world, through no decision we have made, comes to its ending. It is this moment for you. All that once was will soon be the past. What no longer is what was. What is no longer is what was. And that kingdom that was is no more. Yet you are still standing in truth. Every living being is always in flux and change. Beneath the surface, at a deep level, the world keeps moving through her cycles. To live it is to change. Take a moment to look upon what once was, to let it go, to give it honor, to say goodbye, and then to slowly stumble into the mysterious unknown, which holds what will become a beautiful future. that is this. This oracle card could not have more accurately backed up this reading. This is grieving how you saw this person. This is now creating a new way, a new future, a new dichotomy based in honesty. And I do believe with this Queen of Swords and this Queen of Hearts, they are going to get a little honest. Then they're going to get in their feelings a little bit. Because when they have to get honest, they're going to have to revisit. They're going to have to do some trauma dumping. And they're going to have to do some inner child work. And I mean, my Lord, we could be eating a sandwich, working, blow drying our hair in the shower in the most mundane moments. And all of a sudden, something happens and you think, wow, that was like made a joke of in my family. I'm not going to say what the moment was, but like we all have those moments where I just said to somebody who is so open-minded and not judgmental at all. So they're the last person to say, well, that's horrible. They're like, well, they're always trying to, look for the best in people. And I shared a moment that happened when I was around 5. And I was like, didn't crash over it, but this is something that was like joked about in my family. Like it was nothing. And when I said it to my very unjudgmental friend, they were like, that is horrifying. That's terrible. I can't imagine. When this person, we all have that, and we all have to deal with that stuff coming up, and then how we deal with it just depends on where we're at, right? For this person, when they go to get truthful, and then they go get in their feelings, they might have to feel safe, get a little delusional. You're going to feel the confidence lost in them. There may be some out-of-pocket behaviors to overcompensate for the lack of confidence that they are feeling. Because when that moment hits them, right, that's just a human condition. And it doesn't matter how far along, again, you could be educated about all this, but you still have to take the moment and sit with it. And when this person sits with it, I think it's going to be the first time in a long time that they sit with anything like that. And I think the reaction is going to be to like, get safe again. And I think how they get safe is maybe the opposite of that Queen of Swords, is that 7 of Cups, that like fog that we choose to sometimes stay in because we're not ready. Listen, that is part of the scale of ontology. People block things out because the brain will do what it has to do to keep your body safe. And when I say keep your body safe, I mean from death, from all kinds of things. So if somebody is not in a place and ready to hear something, their brain will block it out, make delusion, victimization, right? When we're taking accountability, when we're doing the work, it's really sometimes hard to sit with somebody that we feel like they choose to be a victim again and again and again. They don't really want the help. They want the attention when there's a problem, right? And after a while, when we have done the work and we pulled ourselves out of stuck for whatever reason, it's really hard to sit with that. And while this person probably does cause chaos, can be a little embarrassing sometimes when other people are like, hey, and you're like, no, they're not really like that. I also want to make sure that we're not shaming and we're not villainizing somebody who's just in a different place. But you, Aquarian placements, 11th house placements. Holy shit. This is an incredible human being I'm reading for. The ethics, the kindness of this person, which is you, if I'm reading for you, is just, you have all of my admiration. Aquarius, I love you. Now you love you. With that, we're going to move on over to Libra. And hopefully I'll see you guys all Friday night. And I do, if it's the first time you're seeing me, I do have personal sessions, private readings, personal readings, and I also work with Connie Jo, so you have all 4 clairs, and that's amazing. So all that stuff is in the description box. I never say that. I keep getting yelled at because I never say that. And I will see you all soon. Bye.